I am Slick Nick, and I'm back for this fun new little series that I accidentally created in the last video, where we're determining how red pill I am in my whole perspective of life by examining songs that I've published on this channel that you can look up by going in the search box, type in original song on my channel, and then type in whatever title I mentioned as we go through the lyrics, and then we can collectively determine how red pill I am beyond just one topic that I tend to talk about a lot because that's what people come here for. But beyond that, do I truly have a red pill perspective on life? So here's another song called You Won't Remember My Name. And this was, my wife sang this with me too on our channel. You won't remember my name. Let's start a war overseas with perceived enemies. We're the world's police fighting to be free from the rebels whom we gave the keys. Ignore civilian casualties. They don't believe in Christianity. While Jesus weeps, the army jeeps proceed to seize the victory. You won't remember my name. I'm a forgettable face. All I'll ever be is the least of these. You won't remember my name. I'm life in prison without parole. I'm climbing that wall from Mexico. I'm a woman's choice when birth control is an afterthought. I'm not a soul. So hide behind a political side as the lobbyists buy your version of right and just deny that some live life in the dark instead of the light, end quote. That's one of my proudest songs that I've ever written. This is, for me, a song written by a libertarian who happens to be a Christian, and you're going to see that in here. You're going to see the reference to abortion. You're going to see how we look at certain groups of people, nationalities, etc., and we make them perceived enemies, like I said in the song there. So I am speaking from the perspective of these victimized people, but ultimately you can see that as the author of the song, I'm able to unplug from the blue pill existence and look at red pill and think, what's life like in reality? So you decide, was I red pill when I wrote that song? Let's go to some other songs. So again, all you have to do is just go to the song that you want to check out and you can watch the video. So did I complete this one? Okay. I Feel Like You Want Me to Care. It's clearly red pill, and it goes back to those list of 10 things I always talk about. So I feel like you want me to care. Here's the lyrics. I feel like you want me to care. I would, but there ain't nothing there. Not amused, it's no use. I'm not offended or disrespected. I don't expect to be treated better. Not triggered, go figure. I'm not a victim, but I might be a villain. You determine where I am on the spectrum. So that's the main chorus. And then going on to the verses. I don't have a dog in the fight. I'm an accidental catcher in the rye. Your information doesn't affect my life. And then the next verse. I don't have any skin in the game. My emotions and time are my own domain. I refuse to give my peace of mind away. So yeah, there's the lyrics on that one. That's clearly red pill. That's clearly that perspective of I'm in charge of my own life. I'm not buying into what I'm supposed to believe. I'm going to ultimately be in charge of my own emotions in my own life. Okay, here's another one, Shotgun. This is one I wrote about the concept of being married. And from a Christian perspective, in that Jesus clearly says that in the next life, we're not going to be married to her at all, period. But specifically, you invest your whole life in a person and then you die, and that's it. It was just for this earthly life, is what Jesus himself said in the Bible. So Shotgun, if you want to look up that song, type in original song, Shotgun on this channel. Here's what you'll get. You'll see me perform the song. I got my finger on the trigger, just one bullet in the chamber, for better or for worse forever, until death do us part. Staring down the barrel of a shotgun against my shoulder, praying that I'm solid in my aim. I can't afford to miss it. Either it is or it isn't. Neither of us will ever be the same. Best case scenario, we both grow old until one of us dies and leaves the other all alone. Happily ever after, celebrations and disasters, sweet and sour, I ain't going nowhere. Anticlimactic, existential crisis, comic, tragic, love versus fear. Why are we still here? I don't have all the answers, but I've made my peace with God. I'm taking you with me into the great beyond. So there you go. I say a very red pill perspective of Christianity. And again, when you hear me talk about my faith, you're going to see a guy who's ultimately trying to understand my own faith better at the danger of actually questioning it, I think is what you'll see. So I think that's pretty red pill. It's a Jeep thing. I wrote a fun little song about what I drive for a living. This is part of my midlife crisis, therapy, is that my Jeep there. which is a manual transmission. I've made many videos about it here on this channel, so if you want to check those out, feel free to do so. But so I thought that would be fun if I wrote a song about a Jeep. And I think, let's see, there's got to be something Red Pill in it. Here's the lyrics. It's a Jeep thing you wouldn't understand, off-road and rowdy, it's part of who I am. I've got a JK popping out in first gear if I don't accelerate past 1,000 RPMs. There's a Jeep wave if you're part of the club, but you've got to drive a Wrangler to get some of that love. So if you've got it in your blood, roll those tires in the mud, pop it into four-wheel drive, it's time to climb. I've got my okay, I already talked about that part. So drive into the face of danger in a Wrangler, live free or die, 0 to 60 in 20 minutes down a hill. So that's like a joke, you know, because they don't necessarily go fast. They can climb over anything, but they can't go fast. So the red pill about this is it's a manual transmission, first of all. Not many people can drive those anymore, but mine has a trick to it, the JK model. Mine's a 2010. It will actually pop out of first gear sometimes if you don't just keep your hand on it. So it's just one of those, that's the solution. You just have, it's a malfunction that Chrysler did during that model. So it's red pill. I've taken control over that. So there you go. What else do I got? Okay, here's another song about my Christian faith. I Still Believe, which I didn't know was a song by Jeremy Camp and a movie by Jeremy Camp. I wrote the song and then my wife and I ended up watching the movie on Redbox or something. But here it is. I'm less of a saint, more of a sinner. Saved by grace, I know my place. But I never wanted free will. I've never had more, okay, yeah, sorry to cover that. I never wanted free will. My faith is so strong, I admit I could be wrong. Or does that make me weak? Still, I believe. So as we look at the lyrics in that, that's me. I don't know if that's necessarily red pill, but I think in Christian culture, it's almost rebellious to ask questions that we don't have answers to. So that was me, and I'm still in it, just accepting the fact that I will never get answers for a lot of the things that the Bible teaches. And I think a human perspective can get in the way of that anyway. But I have to either accept, hey, I'm never going to know for sure what some of these things mean and how it works, or I can check out and I choose to keep believing. So is that red pill? Oh man, what a favorite song. These are the good old days. Look that one up on my channel. My life is halfway over. My life has never been more in focus. No time machine to take me back. What's happened is in the past. These are the good old days. We're still living in them. I won't always be here. You won't always be here. So shake a hand, shake a leg. Soon we'll all be dead. Don't want to die, so I'll try to live while I'm alive. This is it. These are the good old days. You learn to take the good with the bad things. Life is both a comedy and a tragedy. No way to fast forward or rewind. Just try to catch up if you get behind. These are the good old days. We're still living in them. So there you go. I love that song. I think that's a very red pill way of accepting what life is. That it's imperfect, it's mysterious, and you live in the moment the best that you can, and you make the most of it, and you accept it for what it is. So, oh man, here's the finished version of the I Still Believe that I wrote, because that was my notes from before. Let me go through this real quick, and we can look at this again. I still believe. I've never had more faith. I've never had more doubt. With so many questions I'll never figure out. My faith is so strong. I admit I could be wrong. Or does that make me weak? Still, I believe. I still believe. I don't need to understand what I can't. If I could, it wouldn't change anything. I still believe. I'm less of a saint, more of a sinner, saved by grace. I know my place. I never wanted free will, nor do I still. I'm an imperfect person. I can't be trusted, but still I believe. Choose for yourself this day whom you will serve. As for me and my household, we'll serve the Lord. God bless this house. God bless this home. God bless our children as we watch them grow. Your kingdom come, your will be done. This is what I pray. I hope I don't get in the way. I'm not of this world, only in this world. Every good thing I have comes from the Lord. So there you go. A minute ago, that was just my sketches. I didn't realize. Here's the actual lyrics to the song. So yeah, there you go. And then, man, okay, I'll close with this last one because it's on a similar note. It was called If the Atheists Are Right, if you want to check out this song. Here's the lyrics. If the atheists are right about what happens when we die, the screen will fade to black, and that is that. No memories or consciousness will continue to exist, no confirmation whose views were true. That is, if the atheists are right about what happens when we die. If the Jews are right about what happens when we die, well, nothing seems to really come to mind. If there's a life beyond the grave, it is not for us to say. All that matters happens in this life. That is, if the Jews are right about what happens when we die. If the Muslims are right about what happens when we die, it's punishment or it's paradise. So you try your best to be good enough, more positive than negative. And then just hope that it all measures up. That is, if the Muslims are right about what happens when we die. If the Christians are right about what happens when we die, Jesus is the way, the truth, the life. So love your neighbor as yourself. Trust that God will do the rest. You choose the path to heaven or hell. That is, if the Christians are right about what happens when we die. So tell me what will happen when we die. There you go. I got more lyrics to go through. This is too much fun for me. I'm going to do another video for this series, picking up with the next song, We Had a Good Run. Your comments belong right here.